Am I actually about to review a Hunter x Hunter chapter? Like, is that a real thing? Did I actually just read that, or did I imagine that? Or did that chapter actually come out years ago and I'm just having some kind of strange deja vu? I don't feel like this is real. I don't feel like I'm actually going to be talking about new Hunter x Hunter stuff on this channel. It doesn't feel right. Like I'm legitimately uncomfortable right now. I need something. Hang on. All right, I need my little Hisoka plushie here. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel comfortable, calm, collected. A little bit frisky, maybe if he gets a little bit frisky. But I need him, man. It's my security blanket. What better security blanket than a homicidal, perverted, constantly horny, battle addicted madman? I mean, I understand. Also, if you guys have been here since the last time I reviewed a Hunter x Hunter chapter, you are the real MVPs, man. That was years and years ago at this point. At that time, I don't even think I had 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. If you've literally stuck around that long, if you were here, if you were subscribed back then and you're still here now, I don't know how, but I'm going to make it happen. If I ever see you in person, I'm going to give you a cookie. And it's not gonna be like some raisin shit. It's gonna be like legitimately like a snickerdoodle or something. Also, I had a little bit of a point of contention within my mind on whether or not I wanted to review this chapter today, because technically, even though a translation is out, the official translation doesn't come out till Sunday. And like with, the Berserk chapters that I review and a couple of other chapters and whatnot, they usually drop a day or two. I support the official releases. I buy the fucking manga volume, so I feel justified in just the sense of reading it. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to review it, because when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, the translations are very, very important, because it tends to be very exposition heavy with a lot of dialogue. But I don't know, I caved. It's been 4 years since Hunter x Hunter, so I caved and I read it, and so I'm just going to put the review out there. If you don't want to watch this review yet, if you want to wait, I mean, that's fine, but it's going to be out here, man. So let's get right into it. But getting into it might be a little bit difficult unless you're Hisoka. You can probably find a way, because this chapter legitimately does pick up directly after chapter 390, dealing with the same characters. And if you remember from that long ago, we were actually introduced to a whole group of brand new characters and a whole new situation that is happening now on the ship. Real quick, I'm sorry I keep delaying the review of the actual chapter, but if you guys want to, I do have a video that I made a couple of years ago called the Succession War Hunter x Hunter Recap. It's an hour-and-a-half long video where I go through basically every single plot point that's happening within the Succession War, and I break it down into points. So I do like the Dark Continent as chapter 1, I do Kurapika's story chapter 2, Phantom Troop chapter 3, the Succession War itself with the princes and the Mafia groups. I kind of break it up into 5 parts, but it's all in one video. So I'll link that down in the description below if you want like a full recap of everything that's happening. I'm probably going to have to rewatch my own video because I just haven't had time to reread all of the volumes, which I also plan to do. But anyways, chapter 391. We're picking up with 3 assassins named Hinrai, Zakuro, and Lynch. And yes, I did have to write them down because there's a lot of fucking names to remember here. So we have these characters, and what is happening here? Let's go back into the world of Hunter x Hunter. Where are we within the story? So right now we are dealing with the 3 Mafia groups that are on the ship. And each of the 3 Mafia groups are illegitimate children of the Kakin King. So as we have the princes doing the Succession War on the ship, these 3 people are also children of the king, but they are unable to participate within the Succession War because they are illegitimate children, and because of that, they've been marked on their face. They have 2 razor cuts on their face to symbolize that they are ineligible for the throne. So the best place to go after that is just to become the leader of the Mafia. And there are 3 major Mafia groups. Each are tied in with one particular prince, and we also have a bunch of them seemingly dying. And there's basically 3 different things happening with each Mafia group. The Cha-R group, headed by a guy named Bracco Lee, love it, they are the ones that have made the deal with the Phantom Troop in order to kill off Morena. And Morena is the leader of another mafia group called the HxH family. And Morena has an extremely unique ability where if she kisses somebody, I think it's like 21, 22 people, she activates their aura and basically gives them an opportunity to gain their own Nen ability and eventually be able to do what she does when they get to a high enough level. And how do they level up? They have to kill people. And it's basically a free-for-all on the ship going to the Dark Continent. So for every person they kill, they get a point. Every person that uses Nen that they kill, they get more points. And if they actually manage to kill a prince, I can't remember, I'm gonna have to look it up, but I think they get like 20 points. Like, it's insane. So basically she's created a system where all of her followers are incentivized to go out and kill as many people as possible. So back with the HxH group that has teamed up with the Phantom Troop has basically requested that they go kill Morena. So that's what's happening there. None of that happens in this chapter, though. In this chapter, we have the third and final Mafia group, the CU family, who has basically decided to search for Hisoka before the Phantom Troop and the other group can find them, basically to try to get one up and to try to like have some leverage within this confrontation, because there's a three-way battle happening here between the Mafia groups, and the CU family, or the CU Mafia group, is pretty much the only one that doesn't really have any leverage right now. So he calls in his heavy hitters, which is Hinrai, Zakuro, and Lynch, and all three of them have insane Nen abilities. Hinrai is the main star of this chapter, but just to recount, Hinrai can basically change objects into animals. So in the ending of the last chapter before the hiatus, he had two guards that were carrying rifles, and he changed the rifles into snakes, which basically like shot out, which basically made them like shoot themselves in the face. We have Zakuro, who basically has this bloodletting ability, who can control his blood. His neck was sliced, but he was able to manipulate. He's a manipulator that can manipulate his blood and attack with it. And in this chapter, we find out he can even search with it. So he can cut himself, splatter some blood on the wall, and the blood can actually like go out like a little creature and search for things. It only has a finite time to do it before it has to come back to, or before it loses its Nen and just becomes regular blood. But he can send that out to kind of search for Hisoka, which is what they're trying to do. And Lynch, who didn't really have a lot to do in this chapter, but she's able to basically force the truth out of people by punching them. So if she asks you a question and she punches you in the face, you'll tell her the truth. I'm sure many, many women wish they had that ability with their boyfriends. And I kind of like that Tagashi decided to pick up directly where he left off. In all honesty, this chapter could have been storyboarded, years and years and years ago, and he's just completing it. How much I would have loved to see Kurapika or to see Leorio or go back to Prince Serenich or any of those characters. I would have preferred that because I love those characters. But I do appreciate that he is picking up where he left off, and it doesn't feel like he's trying to do things just to give us the best, comeback, or I guess trying to, deliver something that wouldn't be right for the story. This makes sense for the story. It's just unfortunate that when it went to hiatus before, we were stuck right in the middle of something and not really in a place where it can cut to a different character. But Hinrai does some work in this chapter. So as they're searching for Hisoka, they decide to split up, but Hinrai wants to have a little bit of fun, and he notices a bunch of Morena's followers, which are looking for people to kill, and of course, if they kill him, since he has Nen, that's going to give them more points, so he's a good prime target for them. So he leads them down into this hallway where they decide to attack, and using his ability to transform objects into animals, we get perhaps one of the funniest fucking HUNTER panels I have ever seen, where a guy transforms his hand into like a hammer to try to attack him, and then the hammer gets blocked by this flying pigeon, and the dialogue is like, he blocked my attack with a pigeon. It's just like, that is HUNTER, man. That is amazing. That is exactly what I wanted. That is hilarious. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my Jesus, like I was dying, bro. I was dying when I read that. But yeah, extremely useful ability. It's not that he's controlling animals, it's that he's turning objects into animals. He turns a camera into a cat so that the cat can kind of like walk around and record things. It's really, really unique. And he makes short work out of the attacker in the hallway, and the other members of Morena's group decide to retreat, decide to go back to Morena, tell them what happens. They don't want to get involved with that stuff. So Hinrai is actually kind of a force to be reckoned with. He actually proved himself to be like a pretty formidable opponent, at least against like regular people, at least, low-level sort of Nen users. I don't really know how well he would do against the Phantom Troop themselves, or even Hisoka, who he's looking for, but I think a fight between him and Hisoka would be absolutely awesome to watch, and if they do that, which would make sense since he's searching for Hisoka, I would love to see that, man. So very relatively quick, relatively simple chapter, just kind of luring us back into the world of Hunter x Hunter. The thing that we got to remember besides the overall succession war is the 3 Mafia groups and just what they're planning on doing. So Cha-R made a deal with the Phantom Troop to kill Morena. The CU is who Hinrai works for, searching for Hisoka, and Hyali is Morena, who has incentivized all of her followers to go out and kill as many people as possible. So that's what we're dealing with right now in this chapter. That's not including the Succession War. That's not including the Silent Assassin. That's not including Serenich wanting to talk to Melody. That's not including all of the other fucking things that are happening in this chapter, are within the story arc, of which there is many. And I've said many times that I feel like the Succession War is basically Hunter x Hunter's Game of Thrones. It's Hunter x Hunter's biggest, most complex, most epic story arc that he's ever done. The level of ambition to create a story arc like this, not to mention while Togashi is in so much pain, is just absolutely incredible, and I give him all the props in the world for attempting to do it. And yeah, so I think that we're going to get some consistent chapters for a while. I think we're going to get 10 to 15, 20 maybe in a row, which is crazy. And I do believe it's going to be weekly or bi-weekly, so that is going to be insane. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. If I had to wait another month after this chapter, you know what? I wouldn't even care, because it's been 4 years. So what do we care? What's 4 years, man? We're beyond Netero, where we're just sitting in our jail cell saying, we'll wait as long as it takes. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, the return of Hunter x Hunter is here, man. So tell me what you guys thought about it down in the comments below. Did you like the chapter? I know it didn't focus on any of the major characters, but it did pick up exactly where it left off, and it got to show that Hinrai is pretty much a certified badass as far as I'm concerned. So let me know your thoughts, theories, opinions about Hunter x Hunter Chapter 391 down in the comments below. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you want to, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I do give consistent manga, anime, movie, and other random ass content on this channel daily, or as daily as I can, and I am trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I'd appreciate it if you help me get there. Also, if you do want a solid recap of the Succession War, I will link that video down below in the description. Other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you next time.